Greetings, wayward souls. It's the Gamepad Preacher, and I have a question to ask. Have you seen this man and a half anywhere? That's right, everybody. It's a new year, which means a lot of new opportunities to talk about mascots that haven't seen the light of day in a while. And today we have a 2-for-1 deal with Jax and Daxter. It really feels like this series has been Sony focused lately, but I digress. I've been wanting to discuss the Danger duo for a while, especially since their initial outing turned 22 last year. Jack, Ratchet, and Slide basically made the PS2 a platforming powerhouse, but as we can all note, only the Lombax has really stuck around for reasons partially unknown. Don't worry, the raccoon will get his day eventually, but it's all about the Eco Warriors today. In an age where platforming mascots of all kinds are splashing back on the scene, Jack and Daxter deserve to make some waves as well. Let's talk about it. So Jack and Daxter are the brainchildren of our good friends over at Naughty Dog. Keep this in mind as it will be coming up later. Once Crash's trilogy concluded, and he had a little go-kart excursion, the team over at the Doghouse needed a new project, especially with the sequel to the PlayStation on the horizon. So the team got to work, and in the holiday of 2001, the Precursor Legacy graced the world. Being 100% real with y'all, the original Jack and Daxter is my second favorite 3D platformer. Period. This game to this day still remains a technological marvel in my eyes, and is only eclipsed by a different dynamic duo. The characters, the atmosphere, the fact that there are basically no load times going from world to world, Precursor Legacy really makes you feel like you're on a globe-trotting adventure, something I feel that very few other platformers do. Seriously, play this game if you haven't. Apparently there's even a way to play it natively on PC nowadays too, so there you go. Anyway, gushing aside, the OG Jack and Daxter was a great success, and with success comes sequels, enough for a whole new trilogy actually. So we move on to Jak 2, which dropped in 2003, and considering it was the early 2000s, things got a little... what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, there we go. So remember the colorful, expansive world and goofy little adventure from 2 years ago? Forget all that. We got a dark, gray, dystopian future with an ever-expanding plot. Eco, screw that noise, we got guns. Jak is bigger, hairier. Jak can talk.
I'm gonna kill Praxis!
Jak can swear.
Where the hell am I?
So yeah, it's safe to say Jak 2 and Jak 3 really threw everyone a curveball compared to the first game. However, you can't deny that they were bigger in both scale and scope to the first game as well. And although I have my individual gripes with both of the sequels, I do still think that they are good games in their own right. And with the end of Jak 3, Naughty Dog got another trilogy of games under their belt. And considering there's some time before they start their next one, what's a game studio to do? Well, it's time for a little side content lightning round. So after Jak 3 we got Jax X, a racing game, as if to honor their last trilogy of games, except Jax X is less Mario Kart and more Death Race, and is somehow even edgier. Jump on over to the PSP and we have Daxter, a decent little spin-off starring, well, Daxter, and it's certainly a better game than Clank's solo outing was. And from that point on, that was basically it for a couple years. Naughty Dog went on to start a new trilogy of games and it seemed like Jack's journey was over. Oh, if only it was really over. So sometime while Naughty Dog was deep in Uncharted territory, we did get another Jak game on the PSP, and that game is... Jak and Daxter The Lost Frontier. And spoiler warning, Lost Frontier isn't good. This little adventure was developed by High Impact Games, the same dudes who actually did Size Matters on Ratchet Sides 2, which also wasn't good. But yeah, Lost Frontier is uninspired, repetitive as all hell, and really just makes a bunch of dumb decisions with the continuity. Dark Daxter? Seriously? But the biggest gripe I have with Lost Frontier is that this game here, this is it. The last Jak and Daxter game we've gotten up to this point. The duo didn't go out with a bang, but with the saddest and sloppiest of whimpers, and that pisses me off something fierce. But I get it. Naughty Dog is knee-deep in this other trilogy. Maybe once they're done, they can maybe do the duo some justice. What's their next project after Uncharted anyway? The Last of Us, eh? I don't know, I'm sure that won't occupy all their resources. So after their third successful trilogy, the good folks in the Doghouse moved on to The Last of Us, and the rest is, as they say, history. For the sake of avoiding going on another tangent on how Neil Druckmann will pay for his crimes, check out my dedicated video on the subject. Jak and the Raccoon had their last games flop while the Lombax has not only survived, but thrived, and that's a damn shame. Sly aside, I think Jak deserves another shot in the platforming space, and in a rarity, I honestly think Naughty Dog still has the chops to do it. And to be honest, I can't really think of another studio who could do a Jack game justice. But even then, I'd just like the studio to do literally anything else. I mean, heck, we just got a remaster of a Last of Us game that was barely 3 years old and just... No. Deep breaths, Preacher. You already ran on a rant about this. Okay. But all things considered, it would be nice for the boys to come back in town for one last ride. And who knows, maybe one day the PS2 platforming trifecta can be fully assembled once again. Maybe one day, if the Precursors will it. So yeah, another mascot chalked off the list. Hope y'all enjoyed the video as always. Like, comment, sub, all that jazz. And hey, if you guys have suggestions for some mascots to discuss, feel free to share some. Expect more to come as always, and be well until then.